So today we will start with the chapter line graph and linear graph. So the very first thing, let us first understand what do you mean by line graph. So line graph are used to show the data changes over a time. So the graph which shows the following, you can see just a graph here. Some dots are made over here. These are what the points which are representing the different values. And when we are going to join these points, we are making a certain lines. So that is why this is called a line graph. So line graphs are what? When we are joining some certain points are there, and when we are joining those points, we are getting a line, and this line is called line graph. So, so the definition here says a line graph shows the changes that occur is related variables. That means if suppose two variables are there, as in this figure, the time and temperature is there, so the relative changes is showing by different values, and these values are related to each other. They are related variables, so this can be shown by using line graph. So in line graph you have two variables, independent variables and dependent variables. The independent variable will be plotted on x-axis, that is here in this one the time is independent variable, and the dependent variable will be plotted on y-axis, that is on the temperature. Now you can see what is the important part of graph. So the very important part of the graph is this Cartesian plane. Then the origin is what? Where the line of x and y axis meets, and the coordinate of origin is always 0 0. Then the third one is coordinate axis. Obviously this is y axis, this is my x axis, so this is my x axis, this is y axis. These are the two coordinate axes, and these are very important part. These are actually the main part of the graph. So now let us understand how you're going to draw a line graph. So the very important thing is when we are going to draw the line graph or any graph, basically we are talking about line graph, so let's just stick to this. So whenever we want to draw a line graph, we want first thing we need to draw the axis. The axis means the horizontal axis, that is x-axis, and the vertical axis, that is y-axis. As you can see here, this is my horizontal axis, this is x-axis, and this is my vertical axis, that is y-axis. Then the second step will be we need to label these axes. Label these axes means we need to write down the name of the independent variable and the dependent variable. As I've told you earlier also, independent variable will be written on x-axis, dependent variable will be written on y-axis. Independent variable is also known as manipulated, and dependent variable is also known as responding. So basically we are going to use this only, independent variables and dependent variables. So again, just recapitulate, independent variables will be written on x-axis, dependent variable will be written on y-axis. Then the third step will be creating a scale. So scale means what? We are going to assign the values of on x-axis and y-axis as well, depending on the question. So we need to look on the values, whichever values are given in the question. According to that, we need to fix the values on x-axis and y-axis. So some points here while assigning the values or while assigning the scale, we need to look after these points are equally space interval. When you're going to take the value, just see here, I have left one boxes and I have given the value. Then one box is value, one box is value, one. So every time I'm just keeping one box and just see here it is 0 to 500. That means the difference is 500. Here it is 500 to 1000. Again the difference is 500 only. Then 1000 to 1500, difference is 500. 1500 to 2000, again the difference is 500. That means everywhere when I'm leaving one boxes on x-axis, I'm talking about x-axis right now, my difference for each boxes is 500. That means each box on x-axis will represent the difference of 500. Now let us do the same thing for y-axis. From here to here it is 10. From 10 to 20 again it is 10. 20 to 30 again 10, and again 10. So that means on y-axis I'm leaving one boxes and I'm giving the difference as 10. So that means my x-axis the difference was 500, and my y-axis the scale was 10. So cover the range of the data you have. Cover the range of the data you have means whatever values are assigned in the question, you have to at least take those values, so that all those values whichever there in the question will cover you on the same page or in the same figure. should begin at the zero when possible. See, they have written basically we need to try to start from zero only, but sometime what happened, maybe it is not possible for you to take zero in the graph. So in that way we used to draw this crown. So whenever we are going to start, suppose if it is 0 here and here it is 1000 and then it is 1500, 2000, something like that. So if for some reason maybe you won't able to take this from 0 to 500, 500 to 1000, or suppose this is 15,000, 10,000, something like that. So if you the difference in the first box is not equal to the second, third, fourth, then in that case you need to draw this crown to represent that some of the values you are skipping. But whenever possible you are supposed to take from zero only. If it is not possible, then we are supposed to draw this crown, and this crown is can be drawn in x-axis also and y-axis also. Then the next part is use the coordinate from your data to plot a data point on the graph. So that means after that you need to look on the question, whatever question is given, and according to the question you need to start plotting the point. And once you'll plot the point, you can use your scale to draw the line. Here you can see that once I'll draw this line, I'll put a scale over here and I'll get a straight line. So once you'll get the straight line, you need to connect that straight line to one of the endpoint. It can be on coordinate also, it can be on y-axis or x-axis, anywhere. So you just need to join all those points and then you can connect that point to either of the coordinate. So let us solve this question just to understand how you're going to draw the graph. So my question is, the following table depicts the maximum temperature on the 7 days of a particular week. Study the table and draw the line graph for the same. You can see for certain days, for all the days actually of the week, that is for Sunday, it is given as the maximum temperature is given in degrees Celsius, that is 25. For Monday it is 28. For Tuesday it is 26. Wednesday it is 32. Thursday it is 29. Friday 24. Thursday, Saturday 31. So the different temperature is given. So now just see, this temperature is somehow dependent on the days. So that means my day is independent and my maximum temperature in degrees Celsius is dependent. So the independent will be on x-axis, the dependent will be on y-axis. The next thing, you can on x-axis you can assign this value. As you can see, for each boxes you can just write down the name, all these. Okay, the next part you can see the values here. So depending on the size of your graph copy, you can take different values. So I have started from 5. So you can take 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So you can take till 40 also, 45 if you won't take that also be okay. Even if you won't take 40, that will also be okay. You can take till 35 also. If you want to take some other values, something like 2, 4, 6, you have to check whether you are getting till 32 or not. If you are getting till 32 in your graph paper, you can take this also. Try not to take 3, because if you take 3, some values you need to take in between the points and that will be little bit complicated for you. So try to take even numbers or 5. If you are taking odd numbers, 5 will be okay, or try to take the multiple of 2 or 5. So let us just see, the first value is given as 25. So we can see this 25 is here. So directly we need to just dotted line and this will be 25. For Monday it is 28. So Monday, you can see for Monday it is 28. So 25 and 30. Between 25 and 30 we have 10 lines, right? And the difference of 25 and 30 is 5. So 5 is representing by 10 lines. So 1 will represent by 2 lines, right? So after 25 I want 28. So 25 plus 3, so 3. So 3 will be represented by 6 lines. So that means after 25, after this 25 you need to count 6 smaller line, and that it will be your point 28. In the same way, if it is 26, that means after 25 you need to count 2 lines. 26 means what? One line only you need to extend, so that means you need to count 2 lines and that will represent 26. In the same way, for 32 also, see after 30, 2 points are there, so one line, sorry, one point will represent two lines. So here it is after 30, 32, 2. So 2 points will represent 4 lines. And the same way you can go for 29, 34 and 31. So once you'll draw all these points, you just need to use your scale and just join the next lines to next point to each other. And once you'll join all these points, you will get the line graph. So with this we have covered the first video, which is about the line graph. In the next video we are going to discuss about linear graph.